Howdy, music fans. Thanks for joining me today. I thought I would finally do a ranking on Joan Jett, one of my faves of all time from way back when. Granted, I don't listen to her a lot anymore because I'm constantly listening to things that are new to me, but I still love her dearly. Um, and I do still like to listen and hear her. So let's get started here. I've only got about 11 albums, honestly, so she's only got about 11 albums. I'll talk a little bit about these compilations and these oddballs, but those are not going to be in the rating um, system. So let's get going. Coming in, let's make sure I have it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, 11. So coming in at number 11 is, I believe this is 1986 or 1987's Good Music, which is a good record. I like it, and I liked it then. It doesn't have the punch and the energy that a lot of her music has. She's got a song on here that she does with the Beach Boys, so that might be part of it. No offense to all you Beach Boys fans, but I'm just saying. She does Fun, Fun, Fun with the Beach Boys too, which is kind of odd. There's a song on here called Good Music, which I actually like quite a bit, even though it's a little bit, I don't know, trite or cliche maybe. This Means War is from the Light of Day soundtrack, and she does Jonathan Richman's Roadrunner on here. Not Bo Diddley's, Jonathan Richman's. And then she has If You Want My Love. Black Leather, she does kind of a rap tune, and she has a rapper come in for a verse, and it's not great. Outlaw is good, but it's just a little bit weak in the energy. Same with Just Lost. Just Lost is good. She does Jimi Hendrix, You Got Me Floatin', which is okay, and Contact, which is kind of like Outlaw, just lacking a little bit of energy. I like them both, but lacking a little energy. Um, all right, good music, number 11. We're already in the top 10. Look at that. All right, next one, The Hit List, which is Joan Jett's all cover album. All covers album, and it is good. I like it, but it's all covers, so it's going to be farther down the line, of course. Dirty Deeds, Love Hurts, Pretty Vacant, Celluloid Heroes, that's pretty cool. Tush, Time Has Come Today, that's really good. Up from the Skies, Have You Ever Seen the Rain, pretty good. Love Me Two Times is pretty good. And Roadrunner USA 1990 version, so another version of Roadrunner. And it's just, it comes in this later in the list because it's an album of covers, that's all. Um, Next one, I'm going to get slammed for by Joan Jett fans, I'm sure, if any of you are actually watching. I'm putting at number 9, Joan Jett, or Bad Reputation, and that was her first album, which is pretty acclaimed, I think, to most Joan Jett fans, and it is good. I do like it. I'm not going to talk about the bonuses because they didn't come out on the original album. It has Bad Reputation, which is fantastic. Do You Want to Touch Me, the Gary Glitter song, is a song I could happily never hear again. But when I do hear it, I'm like, hey, there it is. And it's fun. And then she does Shout, the Isley Brothers, another one I could do without ever hearing again. Don't Abuse Me, I don't like all that much. Let Me Go is pretty good. Doing All Right with the Boys is pretty good. Too Bad on Your Birthday is good. You Don't Own Me, I think Leslie Gore did that. I don't really dig that very much. And You Don't Know What You've Got is really good, and Make Believe is good. Jezebel's pretty good, but it just feels like it's her sound hasn't quite matured yet. And why should it? It's her first record. It's a good record, but it's her first, and so her sound really isn't there yet. All right, so coming in at number 8 for me is Sinner. This album uh, it's kind of like there's another album they released just in Japan called Naked, and a lot of the tracks on that are on this, but they don't have all the same tracks. So if you don't have Naked, which I don't, you're missing a couple, one or two tracks that you can't get anywhere else. But Sinner is kind of a hodgepodge of things that she was playing live at the time, and this is all studio. So it's kind of weird to call it an actual album, but it definitely is an album because they're all new songs except for one. She redoes 100 Feet Away, which is on album. But all the rest, Riddles, AC/DC is fantastic. That's the old, I think, Sweet tune. Five, Naked, those are new ones of hers. Everyone Knows, Change the World, Androgynous, the Paul Westerberg tune. Fetish, Water Sign, that's uh, the Gits tune. Tube Talkin', Turn It Around, Baby Blue, and Bad Time are all her songs. And they're good, and it's got good, fresh energy. I think the best songs on here are AC/DC 5, Naked, and probably Water Sign. Yeah, those are probably the best songs on here. So that's number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Joan Jett's Notorious, which was, I think, something like 90 or 91 or 2. I like this album a lot, but some people might not like it as much because it lacks a little bit of energy, but it has a couple of softer tunes of hers that are fantastic, like Lie to Me and Ashes to the Wind or Ashes in the Wind. Um, you're not going to hear her Ashes in the Wind yet. You're not going to hear her do stuff like that any other time, really, except maybe on there's like a couple other songs like that. Lie to Me is one of my favorites, and that's one of the softer ones. And Ashes in the Wind, it just shows a different side of her. Then she does the old Runaways tune. I think it's Runaways. Wait for Me and I Want You. I think she did both of those with the Runaways. Treading Water is pretty good. I like that one. Machismo is a little goofy. Don't Surrender was one that made the radio, and it's okay. It's good. Um, and then the only good thing you ever said was Goodbye is kind of like I Hate Myself for Loving You, and it's really good. Backlash she does with Paul Westerberg, and it's not great. It's not bad, but it's just not great. Um, so anyway, yeah, Notorious coming in there at number 7. Coming in at number 6, Up Your Alley with Hate Myself for Loving You is on this, and Little Liar. And Little Liar's okay, but she does a great cover of Chuck Berry's Tulane, and she does Riding with James Dean, which is one of hers, and I think it's a really cool tune. I Want to Be Your Dog, I can get over that. That's the Iggy Pop tune. Kind of tired. She did that a lot in concert when I used to go see her. I Still Dream About You, I really like. You Want In, I Want Out, I like. It's a little lackluster in performance and energy, but it's good. Just like in the movies, same thing. Desire, Back It Up, and Play That Song Again. All of those feel like they kind of have the energy from the album Good Music a little bit, but still they pop a little bit more. They're a little bit better. And I Hate Myself for Loving You is a killer track, no matter how big a hit it was. It was a killer track. Alrighty, coming in at number 5, I Love Rock and Roll. And this album is really good. It has I Love Rock and Roll and Crimson and Clover and Little Drummer Boy, of course. But the other tracks on here, um, I'm Gonna Run Away is great. Love is Pain is fantastic. That is one of her best songs, certainly after her first couple albums. Victim of Circumstance is really good. Bits and Pieces is a bit of a kind of bubblegum pop, but it's good. Be Straight is really good. You're Too Possessive is great. And then the rest of these are bonus tracks. But this is a pretty solid album, even without the hits on it. And with the hits, it's fantastic. Coming in at number 4, her latest album, Unvarnished. I love this record. I think it's fantastic. Um, there are some songs on here that are kind of like, and on any Joan Jett album, there's going to be songs that are a little trite or not the best songwriting or a little bit too kind of plain and maybe pedantic. But I really like this album a lot. I love Make It Back, and I love Bad as We Can Be. Those are my 2 favorites. But Reality Mentality's decent. Fragile's good. Make It Back, that's my favorite. And that and Bad as We Can Be. Soulmates to Strangers is pretty good. TMI a little goofy, but it's okay. Any Weather is pretty good. And this came out once with bonus tracks, but they're all live, mostly older tracks. So anyway, Unvarnished, I think, is a really good, solid effort, especially for being her most recent record. Coming in at number 3, some call it Gromy, Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth. This album is, I wore it out when I was a kid. I love this album. I think it is fantastic. I can't read anything on here, but I remember that Cherry Bomb is on here. Long Time is one of my favorite Joan Jett songs. Frustrated is one of my favorite Joan Jett songs. New Orleans she does, which is cool. The old, what is that? Is that Gary U.S. Bonds or somebody like that? It's kind of just an old rocker. Hold Me. She has a couple of kind of lighter ones on here. Talking About My Baby is really kind of pretty good and kind of raunchy. Um, I Need Someone is pretty good. That's a kind of a 50s hand clapping type deal. Yeah, this is just a great album. Frustrated and Long Time are probably 2 of the best ones on here. And then her solo version of Cherry Bomb, of course, is great. Next, Joan Jett's Pure and Simple. This came out in '94, I think it was, somewhere around there. I saw her a lot on this tour, on these tours of this record, and I think this record just pops, has great energy, and just is a great album. Go Home is great. Eye to Eye is great. Spinster's great. Torture's great. Rubber and Glue's okay. As I Am is another one of her soft ones, like Lie to Me or Ashes in the Wind, and it's pretty good. Activity Girl's a little trite. Insecure I absolutely love. That's just rocking. Wondering is really good. And You Got a Problem is pretty good. Brighter Day is good. Yeah, it's just a really good record. I love this record. I think it's really solid. And number one, Joan Jett's album. She just calls it album. This has Fake Friends, one of her best, if not her best song, one of her best songs on here. It has the French song, which is fantastic. It has her version of Starfucker by the Rolling Stones. It has Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone, which is actually a really good version. Handyman is excellent. Really great song. 100 Feet Away is great. Secret Love is great. Tossin' and Turnin', that's who is that? I don't know who did that, but that's an old 50s bubblegum pop song, and it's pretty good. Why Can't We Be Happy is another good one. I Love Playing with Fire, I believe the Runaways did. That's good. Coney Island Whitefish and Had Enough are both great. This album has anger and energy and rage and fun and rock and roll. It is just a great, great record. So that's it. Number one, album. Number two, Pure and Simple. Number three, Glorious Result of a Misspent Youth. Number four, Unvarnished. Number five, I Love Rock and Roll. Number six, Up Your Alley. Number seven, Notorious. Number eight, Sinner. Number nine, Bad Reputation. Number 10, Hit List. And number 11, Good Music. And now here are some compilations. This Fetish is it's interesting because it has some new songs that aren't anywhere else, like Fetish Triple X and Baby Blue. Some of them are on Sinner, I guess, but it's got a lot of songs, and Fetish is on this, that she's already re-released. And I can't remember if she redid them on this. I really can't. It's limited edition. Cherry Bomb, Secret Love, Love is Pain, Star Star. It's kind of supposed to be like her X-rated album, kind of, with these naughty, risque songs. The French songs on here, Willy Billy, Coney Island Whitefish, Hanky Panky. So I can't remember if these are redos. They might very well be redos, but I don't call this a new studio album. Next is Evil Stig. That's the Gits backwards. The Gits, when Mia Zapata got murdered, she joined up with the Gits and put a lot of energy into finding the murderer, and they didn't find him for a couple decades, I think, and they finally did. Had him on. They were on America's Most Wanted, and she toured with the Gits and led them as in Mia Zapata's shoes and singing and playing guitar, and she really championed them and her for this. It's good. They're a little more punk rock than I like, or grunge or whatever, but it is decent. Next is something that came through the fan club called Cherry Bomb, and it's a little short EP, and it's got Cherry Bomb Dance Mix, A Little Bit of Heaven, which isn't great, Who Can You Trust, which I don't remember, Let It Bleed, which was on a B-side of a cassette single, which I had, and it's really good. The Stones Let It Bleed. Long Live the Night and Right Till the End, not great. Next one, 1979, it's called, and that's another of the same kind of deal through her fan club from long ago. You Don't Know What You've Got. I think it's a different version, and it's really good. I Want You is really good. You Can't Get Me acoustic is really good. I'll Never Get Away. We're All Crazy Now is good. That might be acoustic too. What Can I Do For You is excellent, and You Can't Get Me electric version. This is pretty fun. And then there's this flashback thing, which I'm not going to read all the tracks. It's like 20 of them, and it has Louie Louie and Bring It On Home, the Sam Cooke tune, and some other interesting stuff. But it's kind of lackluster. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's just a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff that never got onto albums, never made it anywhere else. So that's it, folks. That is Joan Jett, my ranking. I'd love to hear yours. Please put it in the comments. Yeah, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Have a good day.